we're dialed. That's back-to-back sweeps. Starting off the week, we are 7-0. Can we do it again today? 3 sweeps in a row? Hey, let's find out. Let's see if we can keep it cooking here on the hardwood. This is the free 3. Let's dive into these plays.
I love it, Noble. Noble, I also love your YouTube videos. I watched them while I was gone. That was fire.
But getting paid because yesterday we had a full sweep. My going under, that was just icing on the cake. Why are we going to go in such a weak AFC South? Unless we have the NBA Blowout Association today.
Knicks take a 1-point lead with 13.
When you hear the sirens, you know what that means.
You got barbecue back there, and you didn't invite me. Hurt my feelings.
Hurt my feelings. Hey, that's what we're trying to do with the sports books, guys. We're trying to hurt their feelings because we want to get paid, and this channel, we have been running it up. What is up? Good morning, each and every person tapped in. Good morning, Day. Good to see you, fam. It is your boy, Noble Living, back with another DYF Bets video where I'm breaking down my favorite picks and plays of the day as we just try to get to the bag together and make that money. So let me hit this real quick, and then let me hit the horn. You guys know what the horn means. A horn means a sweep, and yesterday we were able to sweep the board, back-to-back sweeps. Monday sweep, Tuesday sweep. In today's video, we're going to recap how we did yesterday and then also dive into 3 best bets on the way for you guys. 1 college basketball best bet, 1 NBA player prop, and then I also have a money line bankroll builder for you guys for the bubble teams that we've been doing here in college basketball, so it's been going pretty good for us. So let's recap how we did yesterday real fast. All our plays are tracked on the Action Network at Noble Living. If you're not following us there, yesterday you could see here 3-0 day. Beautiful. Our best week since we started tracking plays here to start the year. Up $1,400, 23-9 over the last 7 days here on the channel. That is what we're looking for here. You can see yesterday, Golden State Warriors team total over 112.5. It was a little bit of a sweat. We got a terrible number on it because it closed at like 110.5, but it doesn't matter. We still cashed it anyway. We cashed our 3-team steam of the day, our 3-team parlay. The main leg was Vermont. It was a little bit sweaty, but they were able to win and cover. And then you can see VCU and then North Carolina. No sweat bets there. We get it done. I love that plus 135 there. I love the value that we got on that one. And then finally, Georgia on a pick'em. I told y'all I didn't understand the line. Georgia still had a lot to play for. And guess what? They get it done. 3-0 day, minus 110. And I love the odds value that we got on this. We didn't lay a whole lot of juice. We got good plus chicky. You love to see it. Because we swept the board on Monday, you guys know the vibes. If you comment on the video, all I do is I just send you money. You can see I sent Ron $30, bro. 3 picks, $10 a pick, $30, free 3 sweep, and I appreciate all the love and support that he gives me. And guys, this is the same thing. I gotta pick a winner from yesterday's video. So what you need to do, comment on the video right now, comment on the video on YouTube, wherever you're watching, so this way I can pick a winner and we can decide who we're gonna give the bread to. I will announce the winner for tomorrow. All right, let's dive into the picks for today. On today's card, let's go to the college basketball slate. As the regular season is winding down, we start looking at some of the conference tournaments that are going on. And you know what? There are some lines that I really don't want to touch with. And there are some games that are going to be great, like this Maryland-Michigan game, which can go either way. Also, you've got teams like Pitt and NC State that really don't have a lot to play for, but you really know who's the better team. But one game that I'm going to take a look at is this Xavier and Butler game. And as you can see here, actually, I'm not going to talk about this game first. I'm going to pump fake y'all. We're going to scroll down. We're going to talk about Tennessee and Ole Miss. How about we talk about that game? Because I know that's the game that a lot of people are excited to learn or to talk about. And Tennessee, coming off that big win on Saturday at Alabama where they hit the game-winning 3-point shot. Electric environment, biggest game in Tennessee basketball history, their biggest win in program history. I mean, Tennessee looks good. They're legit. But Ole Miss, on the other side, led by Chris Beard, there's a lot to digest with this team as well. You can see they're 20-9. Meanwhile, Tennessee, they're 24-5. And if we go to our college basketball standings, which we've been taking a look at pretty heavily, let's scroll all the way down to the Southeastern Conference here. And we can see Tennessee, number 4 seed. Ole Miss, number 5 or 5, 6, 7 seed. Why is this important? Because the first 4 seeds of this conference, guess what they get? A double bye. The next 4 seeds get a first round bye, and then after that, then you kind of play your way through it every single day. So Tennessee, you could see they're right here on the line. Mizzou plays tonight as well. So they're going to want to grab this win today, because if you drop to the 5th seed, that's the difference between one extra game and one extra day of rest. Meanwhile, for Ole Miss, they're probably going to be able to having only one round bye, but you could see they're right here as well, 9-8, 8-9. They dropped their final 1 or 2 games. Now guess what happens? You might find yourself playing on the first day when you don't want to, and instead you could get a bye. So there's still a lot to play for both of these teams here, and they're both very strong defensively. If we go look at both of these programs real quickly here on KenPom, you can see that Tennessee historically is known for their defense under Rick Barnes, #1 in defensive efficiency, #1 in effective field goal percentage on the defensive side, #2 in 3-point percentage on the defensive side, #14th in 2-point percentage on the defensive side. Defensively, they're one of the best teams in the entire country. That is why they're 11-5 in conference and 24-5 and have won 4 straight games and 7 of their last 8. But Mississippi on the end side, 22nd in defensive efficiency, 28th in turnover percentage, 94th in 3-point percentage. So what is the angle that I'm looking at here? I'm just going to go with the defenses. I don't want to touch the sides if I'm being all the way honest with you guys. So what we're going to do, under 138.5 in this matchup. The line is already moving towards the over, which I disagree with. So we're going to take under 138.5, -115. If you can get at -110 on some books, feel free to shop around. But I'm going to get that -138.5, -115 odds. Now, I just mentioned how strong the defenses were, but another line that I want to kind of bring your attention to, if we go back to Tennessee real quickly, is this line right here. Defensively, although they're #1 in efficiency and effective field goal percentage, they're 86th in turnover percentage. What does that mean? They're strong defensively. They force turnovers, but they're not one of those teams like St. John's that's picking you up full court. They normally have Ziegler do the token defense as you come down the court to put some ball pressure on the point guard and give you a little bit of a delay getting into your set, but they're not a team that's trying to full court press you. Meanwhile, with Ole Miss and Chris Beard, if you can see turnover percentage on the offensive side, they're #3 in the entire country. They don't turn over the ball offensively. So a lot of times, a lot of people think about turnovers and they think that is advantage towards the defense, but it's actually an advantage when you're taking a look at totals towards the under, because what happens? You turn over the ball, you get live transition baskets, you get out in easy transition, and you don't waste a lot of time off the clock. Meanwhile, when you have a team like Tennessee that's 345th in tempo, a team like Ole Miss that's 131st in tempo, but also 3rd in turnover percentage, and then a team like Tennessee that's #1 in defense, what do you get? A slugfest type of game, slow, grinded out. And keep in mind, Chris Beard, he's a defensive-minded coach at mind first. So keep that in mind back to his days in Texas Tech before he went to Texas, right? He's always been that way. And also look at the fact that they're 321st in offensive rebounding percentage. They do not crash the glass. They struggle on the boards, which should also mean one-and-done opportunities, which again leans towards the under here. I'm expecting an old SEC slugfest in this type of matchup here, under 138.5. We're locking that in as our first best bet of the day. Before I go to the NBA pick, let me go to the comments real quickly, guys. I'm seeing a few people here in the comments. What's up, Matt? Good to see you this morning, fam. What's up, Chew? Good to see you. Chew's been dialed. My man's got Connor Bedard over shots on goal. All right, we love to see that, Chew. We love to see that. We need to get a little bit more hockey here on the channel, so I do appreciate you tapping in. Do you guys watch Andy Francia? I don't know if you guys watch him. I think that's how you say his name. The line he does on hockey and the player sniffs, bro. The line combos, those things have been printing money. I've been following him this year to really learn hockey, and I've been taking a few of his bets on the side. Bro, it's been printing. That's a free promo for Andy. I just like his video. I love his personality, and I found him this year, and he's one of the best hockey handicappers that I know in terms of like social media and content. I don't know much, but if you guys know some others, drop some suggestions for me in the comments. I'd love to catch on to a little bit more hockey plays. But let's go to the NBA real fast. And there are a few games on, and I'm not gonna lie to you guys, I didn't really like the NBA card. I didn't find anything that wet my loins. I went to Doink Sports and I was looking at some of their suggestions, and it just didn't move me, man. So we're gonna lay a bit of juice. You might not be a big fan of it. but we're going to take it because the numbers say take it. So we're going to go to this Kings and Nuggets matchup here. And if we look at one player specifically, I'm going to take a look at Mr. Zach LaVine here. And he's been playing pretty well since he's been traded to the Sacramento Kings. You can see here, 22 points last game against the Mavericks, 20 points against the Rockets, 22 against the Jazz before he had that 42 explosion against the Hornets. So we know Zach LaVine is a hooper. We've seen that from his days in Chicago. He's a certified bucket. And now that the Kings are dealing with the hamstring injury to Sabonis, they're probably going to need a few more pieces to help like add to the scoring. That's why they got LaVine. That's why they have DeRozan. That's why they also have Malik Monk. They have other guys who can contribute, but it's going to take a committee to kind of pick up for the 20 points that Sabonis gives you. So what's the line that I'm looking at? I'm not looking at the points line. As you can see, he's only gone over this number in 5 of the last 15. His number's a little bit juiced at 23.5, but I'm going to take a look actually at the 3-point line, and it's a little bit juiced. You might not like it, but we're going to go over. We're going to go over 2.5 3-pointers made for Zach LaVine. You can see here that he's gone over in 8 of the last 15 games. That's a 53% hit rate. If we kind of shorten down the sample size to 10 games, again, still 50%. Last game out, he went 4 of 5 from the 3-point line. Game before that, 2 of 5. Then before that, 4 of 8, 8 of 9, and then 2 of 7. So he's gone over in 3 of the 5 games. He's hooked 1 time. He's averaging 3 3-pointers made over the last 10 and about 7.5 attempts. So the volume is there. Meanwhile, when you look at the defensive line for the Nuggets, defensively, in terms of against shooting guards, we are at Fantasy Pros, they give up the 3rd most 3-pointers per game to opposing shooting guards. So Sabonis hurt, need more scoring, give up a lot of 3-pointers already, and then you're playing at home, the Nuggets are, so that means typically faster paced game because they want to take advantage of the altitude. I like Zach LaVine here in this spot to just give me 3 3-pointers. We know he's going to get the attempts. He's averaging 7.5, 8 attempts. We just need you to hit a quarter of those, and we're Gucci. I mean, if you want to take 3.5, I mean, at plus Chicky, be my guest, but I think 3 is right there at that number. Now, I will say it is juiced. You could see on Doink Sports that it was about minus 135. Here on Action, hold on, let me see, 3-pointers made, it's up to minus 140 on certain books. Again, I would shop around. I'm going to lay the minus 140. We've been cashing this week. We've been making money, so we have a little bit of extra few dollars to spare. But I'm going to take the minus 140. I know it's a little bit juice. I've been trying to give you guys value, but I like this line. I didn't like a whole lot of any other player props, and I do think that the Kings are one of those teams right now in the West that still have, like, they cannot lose and just drop games that because Sabonis isn't playing. It's a hamstring injury. He could be gone. He could be out for 2 weeks. He could be out for a month. We don't know how long he's going to be out for. So you're going to need your other players to step up. And I think Zach LaVine, that's why you paid him. That's why you brought him here. Not the craziest of sell jobs, but the numbers say that, you know, it should be a good look and it's a good matchup for him. So our third and final pick of the day, my friends, is going to be, Day sees it at minus 142. Again, it's a little bit juice, but maybe wait around to see what the line moves throughout the day. But I like it at 2.5, and juice only matters if we lose, and we've been doing pretty good. So our last best bet of the day is going to be our bankroll builder, our kind of bubble parlay. So we've been taking moneyline parlays lately with bubble teams that still have a lot to play for with the big dance coming around the corner in Selection Sunday. So this is no different. And I kind of gave you a little preview earlier by mentioning it, or maybe a tease by telling you Xavier and Butler. And the reason why I mentioned that game is because Xavier is a bubble team. If we go to Joel and Nardi's bracketology real quickly, we can see his last 4 buys here are Baylor, San Diego State, Georgia, and Indiana. That win for Georgia yesterday should help out a little bit. His last 4 in, Ohio State, Arkansas, Nebraska, and a Boise State. Meanwhile, his first 4 out, Oklahoma, Xavier, North Carolina, and Texas. Well, we took UNC last night. Well, today, we're going to take Xavier on the road against Butler. Now, you can see the line has already moved pretty significantly overnight. It opened at minus 1.5. Now it's as high as minus 3.5, minus 4 on certain books. I do not like to catch a falling knife. You guys know that. But the money line here, I still like it because they still need to win, and they're still a bubble team. That is why the line is moving in favor of them. If you want to take 3.5, cool. I don't want to. If you're going to do something, pay for the 2.5. Just take that 1 bucket under, in my personal opinion. But I will take the money line here with Xavier, and I think they're going to grab the win. In terms of like some of the numbers here, let me pull them up real quickly on KenPom. It's really more of a fade on Butler Xavier's won 5 games in a row. You love to see that. 5 of their last 6, so that's great. Meanwhile, Butler, they've just really struggled. Look at all that red. They're 6-12 in conference, and they started off conference 0-6. They lost 9 straight games in a row in the middle of the season, and they've lost back-to-back games against St. John's, Villanova. This is senior night for them, so maybe they go out with a little bit of pride. But the only teams they've beaten in conference were DePaul twice, Seton Hall twice, and Providence and Georgetown, all the bottom teams in the conference. So no type of quality wins at all for them. They don't have anything left to play for. Xavier does. That's why we're locking them in. So what's the other legs that I'm going to give you alongside Xavier? Here are the last few bubble teams. We've got you guys. Well, we've got Cincinnati, and we've got Central Connecticut. Now, Central Connecticut's not a bubble team. They're in the Northeast. They play in their first round of their conference tournament today, so they should win. They're the #1 seed. They have actually the longest winning streak right now in all of college basketball. They've been our boys this year. I know everybody likes the Blue Devils in Duke. We like the Blue Devils in Central Connecticut. They're just there to help us get to plus Chicky. But one of the teams that Joel Lenardi has here as his next 4 out is right here, Cincinnati. And who does Cincinnati play today? They take on K-State at home. Now, the spread is just way too big at 8.5. I don't want to lay that. I actually lean Kansas State plus 8.5, plus 9.5 if you want to take just a side in this game. I do think you could take the points with K-State, but I do think that the situational spot says take Cincinnati because they need a win. You parlay those two together, you can see it's about -115 odds. So not bad two-team. And then if we add in Central Connecticut real quickly, then you could see how we're able to get to just around plus Chicky here at plus 103. We're locking that in for 1 unit. So real quickly with Cincinnati here, we can take a look at what they've been doing recently. Again, they're a bubble team. They need a win. They were competitive against Houston. We had taken them plus the points on Saturday. They covered for us even though they lost. But back-to-back wins before that against Baylor and TCU at home, and then BYU, Utah at home, Arizona State at home. I like the fact that they defend the home court. And then again, Kansas State at home before you travel on the road against OK State. These are the last 2 tune-up wins that you really want to get, and then you maybe get 1 win inside your conference tournament. That should maybe be able to propel you into March Madness if you don't get a bid stolen from you. If you get a bid stolen, then there's nothing we can do, right? But you want to be able to pick up these 2 wins here. This will be a good quality quad 1, quad 2 win against K-State for Cincinnati. So you want to get this win. You can see Ken Palmas is a 7-point win for them. And then again, you beat Oklahoma State, carry that momentum into the conference tournament where if you can grab 1, maybe 2 wins, then you can really for sure yourself into the tournament. So that's really what it is. It's a bubble parlay. 3 teams that really need to win today. Central Connecticut in their conference tournament. It's a 1-bid league, so you can't lose. And you can see Lemoyne's 9-22. Xavier, they're on the bubble as the first 4 out, and then Cincinnati's right behind them as the next 4. So we'll get that done. And then our other best bets of the day is going to be Zach LaVine over 2.5 3-pointers made, and then finally the under in Ole Miss and Tennessee, as I'm expecting an SEC slugfest, haymakers being thrown in that matchup. That's what we're locking in for today's episode of the Free 3. I do appreciate you guys for tapping in every single weekday. We're here. It is your boy Noble Living, and again, if we sweep the board for the 3rd straight day, man, we're going to do another giveaway. So what I need y'all to do is comment on this video, and that's it. And we're going to announce the winner for today's, or I should say yesterday's sweep tomorrow, so this way we can give you guys some bread. All right, guys? I appreciate all the love and support that you guys continue to show here on the Twitch, on the YouTube, and let's continue to get to that cheddar, all right? March is here. Tournament time is here, and this is our time to lock in, get in our duffel, and let's start to make some money, all right, my friends? As always, dictate your fate, get to that cheddar, and I'll see y'all in tomorrow's video. Later, gang.